Hello, my name is Roger Platt, and I'm the president of the U.S. Green Building Council. I'm here in Hong Kong at the World Green Building Council Congress, and I'm here with Felipe Faria, who is the president of the Brazil Green Building Council. And Felipe, I wanted to just start by having you explain a little bit about your role, maybe your training, what brought you to the work of the green building movement.
Yeah, it was like I'm part of the Green Building Council Brazil organization, and one of our role is like to accelerate the transformations of the construction industry in our country towards sustainability. We are very focused on 4 big areas. With the support of the private initiative, we are very strong in terms of education, in terms of training professionals from different sectors of the construction industry, focus on efficiency, energy efficiency, indoor air quality, water efficiency, all those subjects and hot topics that we have in our green building movement. Also government relationship, promotional certification, rating tools such as the international one, LEED certification, which is doing a very important role in Brazil in terms of drive the private sector as well as to drive the public sector in terms of to convince them in their, including their public procurement, those practices of sustainable construction, as well as through public policies, try to drive the transformations of the construction industry towards sustainability. So in this scenario, one of the reasons that the green building movement started to be strong in our country was that it's totally related with climate change. So now people realize that buildings is the best solution, or at least one of the best solutions to solve that problem. The best because we can transform in a very quick way and with low cost of money. So for that reason, the movement started to grow a lot in our country, and coming to the World Green Building Council is that way that we find is the best way to exchange information who other players that are doing the same, and those kind of network, the possibility to network, change ideas, change programs, and cooperate in some way, make us strong as a movement.
Wonderful. So what are some of the accomplishments in Brazil that you feel may also be applicable to other rapidly emerging economies?
I think one of the interesting thing about Brazil that we should analyze right now, I think people now are feeling that we are more close with climate change problem. Because if you talk about the Brazilian population, and when we talk about climate change, it's the image that we have in our minds, like a polar bear and an iceberg, very small, no space even to move. And now, when we talk about climate change in Brazil, what is the image that we start to see? The population in general is one of the worst water crises that ever in the southeast of Brazil. Our reservoirs are dry. No water to supply for a place where we have 20 million people living there. So now the thing is changing. The people are more engaged, people are more involved. Now the people recognize that the deforestation in Amazon forest is totally related with the potential huge phenomenal disaster that can happen in south of the country. And also the government has started to at least to pay more attention, even that I think in terms of the federal government policies and the executive power, I think we have good people working on it. Unfortunately, on the Congress, I think National Congress is the place that we need to be more leaders, focus on sustainability, focus on how to drive the country in a green economy. In terms of private sector, we have very good example. example of successful business that's toward betting in sustainability. They start to make a lot of money to grow, but in the same way that they grow in terms of economic figures, they also reduce their natural resource exploration, as well as mitigate the negative social and environmental impact of their business, in the same way that they increase or make better the quality of life or the well-being of people that relate to those buildings. So I think there is a good momentum for us, and I think we start to change more quickly.
Let me ask you two more questions. The first question I want to ask you is, as the country tries to address housing challenges and social equity issues, what is the role of green building in trying to address those housing objectives of the country?
I think the green building movement in Brazil already proved to the government that we are the easiest and cheapest way to provoke change. Right now we have around, one of the ways that we quantify the growth of the green building movement in Brazil is analyzing the graph that show the growth of the LEED certification, how it has been adopted by the private sector and the public sector. And it's a tremendous growth. Nowadays we have more than 1,000 projects seeking the certification, around 300 buildings certified. Those buildings, they show us that potentially our movement with low increasement of investment and with great payback rates, we can easily reduce until 25 to 30% of the energy and 40% of the water. So we did a very quick analysis that if we implement integrated public policy involving federal government, state government, local government in Brazil, focus on our policies to implement a strong movement of energy efficiency or water efficiency in buildings, we can, for example, in terms of water, we can save the amount of water that is the equivalent of the production of our biggest hydroelectric plants. Or in terms of water, we can save more water per year than the biggest reservoir of water that supply water to the city of São Paulo. So the contribution is huge. And another very interesting point, one of the best way to protect the Amazon forest is to explore in a sustainable way the products that the forest can bring to us. And recently, the FSC Brazil, which deal with certified wood, one of their main goals is to stimulate the use of the native wood, certified wood, and the construction industry. And they made a research asking for the important architectural firms and big developers in our country, what's the main reason that is bringing the wood, native wood, to the construction industry? And the first answer was LEED certification. So for us, it was a pleasure to see that how we are connected and how our movement can help not only with energy efficiency, water efficiency, and indoor air quality, well-being of people, subject that is more directly related with us and we recognize it, but we can change a lot of different things in a lot of different areas. It can involve a lot of different industry.
Okay. Well, you've told us a lot about the very substantive work in Brazil. We're here at the World Green Building Council Congress, and and I know that the World Green Building Council has been encouraging councils around the world to make commitments as we move into the COP. And I wonder, Felipe, if you could just talk briefly about what the Brazil Green Building Council's commitment is to make more progress in the future.
We are involved in a campaign that's meant to join different kind of important association, professional association and institution and other NGOs in Brazil with the support of the federal government. In terms of to provoke the different political segments to implement an integrated public policy focused on energy efficiency in water efficiency. Also involving the finance institutional leaders, because what we miss, one of the biggest barriers that we have in terms of retrofitting the existing building focus on efficiency, even by the fact that the project can be very, in terms of financially, it's totally applicable. We don't have enough finance line or special mechanisms of guarantee for small engineer firms or middle-sized firms get loans to implement energy efficiency project in different kind of projects. So we also are working on that area. The other commitment is that we are trying to really stimulate the construction industry leaders to become the main buyer of sustainable products that come from the Amazon forest. I think this is one of our biggest commitments. And now, surfing with the growth of the green building movement, now we are able to start to spread out to different sectors of the market. We are not restricted anymore to commercial buildings AAA, and now we have a lot of industry plant, retail, a lot of retail stores, and we are starting to enter in the residential market. So, which is the biggest balloon of the construction industry of Brazil, and so it will help us to be even closer to the common people. And the other good thing that it's help us to be closer to the common people is the work that we have been doing with the World Cup organizer in 2014 with the certification of the World Cup stadiums, and now with the possibility to certify as well the sport Olympic venues that are under construction for the Olympic Games 2016. I think it's a combination of good things that can bring us a good momentum in terms of sustainability in the construction industry.
Thank you, Felipe. That was great.
Thank you.